Because this vision, this word of the Lord, this promise, comes before a lot of things that the Lord said first. And we need to be aware of it, because the Lord is trying to do something new. The Lord is trying to stir up hearts. The Lord is trying to shake the foundations of people and say, hey guys, open your ears, open your eyes, be prepared. There's something new that I will do it. But the first thing that we need to do is prepare our hearts. And let's read these verses where the Lord is promising, and then we will jump in on the rest, okay? So Isaiah chapter 43 from verses 18 and 19. And the Lord says, remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. So the Lord, if you go to the beginning of chapter 43, the Lord starts to say about a people that was blind, deaf, and stopped hearing the word. People that had very pleasant seasons in the past, but they were not living anymore all the blessings or all the abundant life that the Lord promised to them. And then the Lord starts to stir up hearts and bring a few things to clarity, starting by their own unbeliefs, by their own ignorance about a lot of the things and promises that the Lord would do it. And the whole chapter is starting exactly the Lord preparing the way and trying to remove a few of the blindness, a few of the deafness, a few of the barriers that was being there, impeding the people of God to finally be in the place that the Lord wants. I remember Luis and I, when we are dreaming about Project Scotland in this church, before this church came to life. I was pastor in Portugal, Luis was pastor in Manchester. The Lord started to speak with us, and there's nothing. There's no church, there's no building, there's no people. There was nothing. And sometimes we doubt about the promise. I confess it from many times. I said, this probably is something from my mind. Probably I'm crazy. Probably I'm too crazy now. Probably and then the Lord come again, and now I'm getting really crazy. And the thing was, the Lord was so persistent that in the middle of the pandemic, I remember one day praying, the Lord was very clear. The Lord said, it's time to shift your ministry. You will stop to be a pastor, and you become finally a church planter. And it was really challenging, because this means that I need to abandon my role, my appointment. I need to travel to the UK, start a new life with no guarantees at all. But we believe, and we start to walk in faith in this direction. But it's awesome when the Lord comes by your side and He starts saying, hey, I want to tell a little bit more about something that I'm planning to do in your life. I don't know if you're interested or not, but I really hope that you are with your ears open, your eyes open. I really hope that you are with some pen on your hand, because what I will spoke will be really important. So pay attention. And the Lord comes in many times and seasons on our lives. And He comes exactly to put us in this place of faith and expectation. This place where we are challenged to believe on the unbelievable. We are challenged to pray in a way that scares us. My wife another day was telling me that, and that hit me deep in my heart when she said, are your prayers, Albert, scaring you? And I said, no. Most of my prayers are very comfy, are very in my comfort zone. It's just for the things that I control or I know. I stop praying for things that I can't see, or I stop praying for things that I know that's huge mountains. And again, I felt the Lord coming and challenge me. Hey Albert, you remember? Can you come close to hear a little bit more of what I'm about to do, starting with your life? And guys, there is a few obvious areas that the Lord needs to move mountains. Let's not be the people that pretend that are all holy and our lives are complete. We're just waiting the Lord to return. There's a lot of sin. There's a lot of weird weird thoughts, there's a lot of barriers, there's a lot of things on our minds and hearts that for time to time crawl in on our minds and hearts, and we are there struggling. Don't be naive. The devil continues to try to find a way. And guys, we are people that are being shaped. We are being edified by the Lord, but it's a tough journey. And we need to be people also of faith. Because sometimes when we look in the mirror, there is a lot of errors on us that we can't believe that the Lord can do it. I remember a guy from a church in Portugal that I pastored. The guy had 60 years old, already started the journey for his retirement. And this guy said, no, my life is done now. I'm just in the end of it. And I remember one day, one prayer meeting on a Wednesday night, on a Bible study, we are praying the end, and I felt the Lord calling that guy to ministry. And I was shocked because I would say, if I ask, or if I say what I believe that the Lord is saying, I don't know if I believe or if the guy who believed was a whole crisis of unbelief in that room, but the Lord persisted, continued. And I prayed with that guy and prayed, saying and declaring over his life this calling to ministry. And I remember the end of the prayer, the end of the night, the guy was praying. The guy was crying, and I asked, why are you crying? And the guy was crying because he said, in my whole life, I could never imagine myself as a minister. I could do a lot of things, I could do it in many ways. But I confess that the Lord is challenging me, the Lord is pushing me. This is out of my comfort zone, and now I'm scared in one way because it's something that I don't know even how to start in the age and how to do it. At the same time, the guy was in a personal crisis because how this will fit on my current life. What this will impact all of me. And it was amazing to see this work of the Lord. But today, guys, in a very practical way, I would like to challenge you to a few areas where the Lord wants to shake a few things on your life. And I'd like to give you a starting point. Danielle will help me here. We'd like to give you a notebook.